Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Celebrity Room. I hope you guys are doing well. So, in today's video, we are going to talk about American Airlines, and they are in trouble. So, what ended up happening is there was 8 black men that were on a flight, and a white flight attendant removed all 8 black male passengers from the flight due to a body odor or some type of odor. Now, mind you, these men did not know each other. They were not sitting next to each other on the plane. And they just decided to remove all 8 of these black men. So now what's going to be happening is 3 out of the 8 men are going to sue American Airlines, as they should. Because that's just plain old racism. I could see if it was just, some white people, Hispanics, Asians, a combination of people. But they made sure they removed all the black passengers off the plane, black male passengers. So the men are saying that it was embarrassing and it was a very traumatizing experience for them. I can't imagine you getting told to get off the plane that you don't even smell, and you notice that everybody else that's getting off looks just like you. That is emotionally, I don't know, that is a traumatizing experience that's very embarrassing, you know what I mean? Now, as I reported before, these men did not know each other, and this event happened in January, and they got on flight 832 at Phoenix Airport for the 5-hour trip to JFK in New York City. The suit states that while they were sitting in different sections of the aircraft, a white male flight attendant complained about an offensive body odor within the aircraft, and all of them were rounded off and taken out. Wow, that is crazy. So, observing that all the black people were being evacuated, but none of the white passengers, VO made a decision to videotape the event on his phone, showing staff in the gate area struggling to find them another flight, with one of the men slamming the incident as an un-effing professional incident, which it is. It's so embarrassing. And another remarking that this is not a random pick. A fellow African-American airline desk worker agreed with the group and stated that the incident was racially motivated. So not other employees at American Airlines telling them that was racist. It's obvious. It's like they can't even really get around the situation, at all. So after this all happened, they actually did allow them eventually to get back on the plane, probably because it was still smelling. Whoever was in there didn't even take off the right person. So when they reboarded the plane and endured the stares of the largely white passengers who viewed them as a substantial delay, the lawsuit claims American Airlines has not explained why the men were removed from the flight, but insisted that they are taking all claims of discrimination very seriously, aka they're going to find out who that flight attendant is and they're going to lose their job. Not even him. There are probably going to be a couple people that are probably going to lose their jobs because they are going to lose a lot of money. They're not going to win at all. It's so obvious. So the lawsuit alleges that other passengers were informed that the men were removed because their smell while they were on the aircraft were walking through an aisle of shame, if you will, said Veal. It was horrible. It was really a traumatic experience. Oh, so they even let the other passengers on the flight know that they smelled, or aka that it was them that smelled. Well, that's lovely. That's so horrible. So yeah, guys, this is the story. I'm going to put in the news report clip of the incident that shows some of the court documents. It shows the 3 men that will be suing the airline with their lawyer. And I'm going to put some social media reaction clips so you can see what social media is saying and people's opinion about this. So if you like today's content, please like and subscribe for more content and hot news. And I appreciate all the love and support. And if you guys want to see more videos, please drop a comment below and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.
We're the only ones getting taken off the plane. Look at this.
This video at the center of a newly filed lawsuit against American Airlines appears to show a number of black men after they've been removed from a flight allegedly due to a complaint about offensive body odor.
So this is discrimination.
The lawsuit claims as Flight 832 from Phoenix to New York was finishing boarding in January, American employees removed 8 black men from the plane. They were not traveling together, weren't seated next to each other, did not know each other, and appeared to be the only black men on the flight, according to the suit filed early this morning.
As I got my things and walked to the front of the plane and made a left to the jet bridge, I noticed that there was 7 other black men. And that kind of was like, okay, what's happening here?
For plaintiffs Emmanuel Jean Joseph, Alvin Jackson, and Xavier Veal, Flight 832 was a connection. They'd taken an earlier flight from Los Angeles without issue.
It was just black men. So I started freaking out. I pulled out my phone to record everything.
At any point, did somebody from American say to any of you that you had an offensive odor?
No.
The lawsuit claims over the course of about an hour, the men were kept in the jetway and then moved to the gate area where they were told they'd be rebooked on another flight to New York later that day, and alleges an American employee indicated the complaint about offensive body odor had come from a white male flight attendant. A gate agent seen in the video at one point seems to agree race was a factor in the men getting pulled off the flight.
Just because of the color of my skin. Okay. Okay.
I do not disagree.
But when another flight to New York couldn't be found, they were put back on the same plane.
Had to go back on the plane with everybody looking at us, for me, very uncomfortable. Everybody staring at me. Me and all the other black people on the plane were just taking off.
I knew that as soon as I get on that plane, a sea of white faces were going to be looking at me and blaming me for their late flight of an hour.
Their lawyer, Sue Huta, says American declined to give her clients any answers about what happened in Phoenix.
It's almost inconceivable to come up with an explanation for that other than the color of their skin, particularly since they didn't know each other, they weren't sitting near each other. It seems fairly apparent that race was part of this dynamic.
The lawsuit cites other recent incidents where passengers have alleged being discriminated against by American and a 2017 NAACP travel advisory urging members not to fly the airline. It was lifted about 8 months later.
You were talking about the story about 8 black men who were removed from a flight.
Yeah, that was crazy.
On American Airlines. I'm going to give you the story because I know a lot of us saw that headline, but this lawsuit was filed in federal court yesterday. And so 3 people are filing, and they say that they and 5 other black male passengers were removed from that flight from Phoenix to JFK in January without any valid reason based solely on their race. They did not know each other. They were not seated together. They said a representative from the airline approached them, each of them, and asked them to leave the plane and return to the gate to be rebooked.
That's crazy.
Once they got to the jet bridge, they saw several other black men were also being removed from the plane. In fact, they said it was all of the black male passengers on the flight.
On the whole flight.
Yeah, once they were off, they were told the reason. Someone told an employee that they had
smelled
some
something
bad body odor.
And then they said, let me go get all these black men.
Yeah.
That is complete.
They said they were being treated unfairly due to their race, and an American Airlines staff member said she did not disagree. They were eventually allowed back on the plane after nearly an hour when the airline determined that there were no available flights going to JFK Airport that evening. So they then had to reboard the plane, and everybody was staring at them. They said it was scary, humiliating, degrading, traumatic, upsetting, and all of those things. And so American Airlines said they take all claims of discrimination very seriously and want customers to have a positive experience.
Nah, we don't care what you said. You discriminated.
That is
racially
awful.
Profiling. Yeah, that was crazy.
Can you imagine they come and tap you?
Yeah, I couldn't imagine it. I've been kicked off planes before.
Did you
for
deserve
behavior?
It?
Yes.
Okay.
For me standing up for my rights and talking crazy to somebody that deserved it. So I understand them kicking me off, but to be sitting there in your seat, and somebody tells you that you got to go, because
and then you see all the other black men
everybody
on the flight.
Another American Airlines employee came out and admitted that the complaint about body odor came from a white male flight attendant. Insane. A gate attendant for American Airlines' sister also agreed that this was race-based, and I agreed too. Only black men on a plane, and y'all just so happened to pull them off of a plane? Insane. This was done by design. One of these brothers said to the gate attendant, that sister, that this was done because of the color of my skin. And she said in her own words, I don't disagree with you. That other flight for these brothers couldn't be found when they was taken off the plane, and they had to be put back onto the plane where the white guy made that complaint about him. Insane. These brothers said everyone on the plane was looking at him, staring at him, and just felt uncomfortable. And mind you, no one on this plane was black but these brothers. American Airlines has, of course, declined to give any answers as to any reasons of why this happened or the specifics as to just what's going on. I could tell you why this happened. It was done because these were black brothers on a plane around all white folks. And that racism, white supremacy kicked in that's embedded in some of them folks' DNA. These brothers' lawyer, mind you, who is a white woman, says she knows race played a role in this. These guys weren't sitting next to each other, didn't know each other, and it appears that race is a dynamic. They found a 2017 travel advisory on American Airlines from the NAACP where it was warning black travelers about flying with American. Insane. The NAACP was urging black flyers not to fly American Airlines and that they could be subject to disrespect and discrimination. Insane. But according to the media, it was lifted about 8 months later. The news reporter asked the last brother if he was anything but a black man, would this have happened? He said if he was a white man that this wouldn't have happened, and I can absolutely guarantee that it wouldn't have happened if he was a white man. This whole situation was totally about white supremacy and the unjust and unfair treatment of black folks. And if you ask me, these brothers need to be compensated quick, fast, and in a hurry for their unjust treatment and racism that they were subject to on that flight. Because doing these kinds of stories, I try to put myself in the mind and in the shoes of our people. And you know, this was totally a racist, awkward situation all the way around the board. They were taking off that flight, then putting back onto the flight. And you know, everyone and their mama was looking at these brothers, truth be told. I could feel in my spirit just how uncomfortable these brothers felt getting back onto that flight. But racism, white supremacy is definitely at play here. Ain't no way around that. Just my thoughts on the matter. Peace.